Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So patch 7.2 is almost upon us, so today I'm going to give you a complete quick fire overview of everything that's coming in the patch, and then the things that you may want to do and not want to do in order to prepare for the patch. Now this is meant to get everyone up to speed super quick, so if you've been paying really keen attention to the PTR stuff, you will probably be aware of a few things here, so you might just want to skip forward to the preparation stuff, and there'll be a time code for that in the comments. Okay, let's hit it off with the content. So, the Tomb of Sargeras is coming out on the 20th with Mythic and LFR wings, then rolling out over the following weeks. Tomb of Sargeras gear ranges in item level, with the final bosses dropping gear that is 10 eye levels higher than the first bosses. LFR gear starts at 885, normal starts at 900, heroic starts at 915, and mythic starts at 930. All in all, you're looking at a 9-boss raid instance that follows a partially non-linear path, allowing people to branch in a few different ways after defeating the first boss, but getting to the final 3 bosses will of course require defeating everything up until then, and they are also going to have a skipping mechanic to get to Maiden, which is the third to last boss, just like with the other raids in Legion where they've had a bit of a time-saving mechanic. Okay, Legendary Gear. 7.2.5 is bringing in a host of new legendary items, including new class rings that unlock a second talent in one of your rows. Now, in addition to this, we are seeing new upgrade items for our current legendaries, which will take them all the way up to item level 970, which should give everyone a pretty significant bump in item level. The upgrade is going to follow a path similar to the previous one that got us from 910 up to 940, and all of the new legendaries are dropping in the same system with RNG, with the same, bad luck protection that is spec dependent. Okay, Mythic Plus is also being changed. Keystone depletion is gone. Not defeating the timer is now going to result in you getting a new keystone that is 1 level below the one that you just ran. Then beating the timer operates pretty much as it does now, allowing you to get a higher level keystone for your next run. And then finally, if you don't complete the dungeon at all, like if you just turn around and leave, you'll get a new keystone that is for that dungeon and is 1 level lower. Now, rewards are also being changed to a flat 2 items per run, plus artifact power. There's a bonus one if you beat the timer. This is less than you would get from a triple chest run, but it is more than you would get from a single chest run. Blizzard's goal overall is to encourage people to do as high difficulty Mythic Plus content as they can, rather than to speedrun content that they overgear. Mythic Plus gear rewards are going to be capping out at level 15 in 7.2.5, up from level 10 currently, and doing runs on high level keystones is going to give you a chance of bonus loot. So at rank 20, like a level 20 keystone, you'll get 4 bits of loot for sure, and then a 5th if you beat the timer. Blizzard are also increasing the difficulty of Mythic Plus dungeons slightly, well, kind of slightly. Basically, they said they lowballed their expectations for player throughput, especially once we start to get Tomb of Sargeras gear. So rather than the 8% increase to enemy health and damage per level of Mythic Keystone, we're going to be having a 10% increase. Now, this doesn't seem like much at the lower levels, but at Mythic Plus 10, you're looking at a 20% increase on difficulty over what we currently have. But of course, that should be counteracted by all the really powerful gear and set bonuses and stuff we'll get from the tomb. So next we've got the Deaths of Chromie. This is a new scenario that has been added into the game. One of the main rewards is transmog gear. There's also a title associated with it called Time Lord, and overall it's one of my favorite bits of content that they've put into World of Warcraft recently from a just game design and inventiveness perspective, so I recommend checking that out and going in blind. We also have a new storyline with Magni Bronzebeard. Similar to the Legion pre-expansion event, this will delve deeper into the nature of the Azeroth Titan and perhaps hint at where some of the game's future may be. Now, another topic that's got people super excited is Heirlooms. You'll be able to purchase heirloom upgrades that allow your heirlooms to operate up to level 110. It costs 7,500 for the weapon one and 5,000 for the armor one. Now, the heirloom gear itself seems to scale poorly, but I imagine the XP gains are going to make it worth it anyway. And there's also flight path tomes. Each one of these, there's one for Eastern Kingdoms, one for Kalimdor. They cost 10k each, but they're toys, so they are basically account-wide to use on all of your characters. We also have the Dead Mines Pet Battle Dungeon. If you're really into the pet battles, you can access this through the Dalaran Pet Shop after you have already completed the Wailing Caverns Pet Battle Dungeon that was added in 7.1.5. Okay, this is one for the rogues, actually. So Blizzard have brought in a pickpocketing system for the rogues to Legion. It's similar to the Warlords of Draenor one. Basically, it lets you get coins of error from NPCs in the Broken Isles. You kind of loot trinkets off them, and they automatically get turned into the coins. Now, you can turn these coins in for gold. There is a weekly quest which will give you 5,000 gold for your first hand-in of 10,000 coins, and then subsequent 500 gold hand-ins as well. So really, it's a bit like the weekly from Warlords. Okay, time walking stuff. So there is the Black Temple time walking, which will be happening during Burning Crusade time walking weekends. This gear, the drop from it was item level 900 on the PTR, which is pretty good, but that may change. Now, you can unlock the Warglaives for Transmog if you kill Illidan on your Demon Hunter in time walking Black Temple and have the achievement for owning both Warglaives on any character. This is designed to be done by a pre-made group of players, and it's reportedly actually really well handled as far as the difficulty goes. You will have to wait probably till July, though, for the next Burning Crusade time walking event, so yeah, it might take a little bit of time. Now, a number of old world bosses are mentioned on a time walking quest for the patch, but we don't know when this will be available, so I'm going to hold back and going sort of fully into that for now. One nice thing is that you will be able to get some unique items from them that have not been obtainable in years. Okay, we've got the death metal Darkmoon band thing. Basically, it's a new event in the Darkmoon Faire. It's a heavy metal concert. Every hour it will play, and basically, while it's playing, you have a boss to fight. You need to protect the crowd from being killed by this death knight. You'll probably need a group for it, and defeating the boss will get you a pretty spicy helmet and a two-handed guitar mace for transmog purposes. There are also a number of new events that have been added, so we've got the Trial of Style, which is a kind of fashion transmog on the fly contest that rewards some recolors of Burning Crusade dungeon sets. There is the Moonkin Festival, which is it's kind of familiar to say similar to the Hippogriff one, though I believe it also does contain a boss that you can fight. There's the Dance Studio, which is a disco thing in the auction house, and then there's also the running of the Gnomes event, which coincides with the popular charity event. Now, of course, there are some other small little updates, so let's go through them. There is a new Nomi mechanic called Nomi Snacks. These are essentially work order rushes, so you can accelerate your sense of disappointment even more than you sort of already can. Wonderful. Then the Blood of Sargeras vendor now sells an item that costs 20 bloods and contains 2,000 order hall resources, which makes it a lot easier to cart off loads of order hall resources to alts who are in need. You can also upgrade crafted gear to 885 now, which is lifting that cap up from, by 10 from 875. Then for the PvP people, combatant gear and relics can now be melted down in the Obliterum Forge, which makes the whole Echoes of Battle system a lot more robust. Pretty handy for filling in a slot or getting the last bit of, say, a transmog set that you really want. Okay, let's move on to preparation. Right, if you've got alts, you may as well farm up 5,000 gold per heirloom slot that you want to upgrade up to level 110, as well as unlock any outstanding heirlooms. Now, if you've got a Demon Hunter, you might want to farm up the Warglaives from original Illidan to get that achievement. My Hunter already has one. You can do it on any character. You just need that achievement on your account, so I'm doing that weekly. You may want to get ready for the Obliterum upgrades if that's how you really want to gear your character. Now, the bonus with the Obliterum gear is that you can get near perfect stats for many slots, but 885 is not going to be that competitive with a normal and above Tomb of Sargeras gear or even LFR Titan Forged. Now, as far as Seals of Broken Fate goes, I am ensuring I'm capped on all characters that I care about. Blizzard recently confirmed that Seals of Broken Fate will be the bonus roll currency for Tier 20, so it definitely is worth doing that. Now, as far as some things to not do so that you don't waste your time over the next few days, caches or Legionfall crates are not going to have a chance of getting any of the new legendaries, so don't bother farming up loads of those and filling your bags up with them in the hopes of opening them all up on patch launch and, finding one of the brand new legendaries. Doesn't seem like that is going to happen. And in a rather similar vein, do not farm up relinquished tokens with the intent of opening them up when the patch drops. These relinquished tokens will always drop 7.2.5 and below items. They're designed as a catch-up to Tomb, not a way to give you Tomb gear, and they won't give new legendaries. Now, on the topic of those new legendaries, personally, I'm waiting until the patch drops before I do any major amounts of legendary drop eligible content such as Mythic Plus. Now, this is something I'm doing for my new characters who are going to be getting their first and second legendary, so for them the drop rate is super high that I may as well wait a week, get my legendaries once the patch drops, because they'll be at item level 970, and that just seems like the most time efficient way to do that on a new character. Now let's talk about some more information-based things. So the easiest way to test out your class changes is to hop onto the PTR. This will give you access to the legendary and raid gear vendor. Now that's going to allow you to test loads of different setups for your various characters. If you can't see PTR on your account, then go to account services on the Blizzard page and click create PTR account, and that's how you do that. Now past that, Wowhead have a roundup of class changes. Preach is going to be doing a series of class guides once the raid comes out, and then Taliesin and Evatil have been doing a series of videos which basically covers the class changes split into tanks, healers, melee, and ranged. I absolutely recommend checking that out. And then finally, for the Tomb of Sargeras itself, I think that it's probably worth looking at the loot table and thinking of some sort of gearing plan so that you at least know roughly what you're targeting. And while we're talking about Tomb of Sargeras, I would also go on to Fat Boss, because they have quite a few previews for the boss fights on their page, and honestly those previews are normally pretty well aligned with the final boss fights. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about 7.2.5. It's everything I will personally be doing to prepare for the patch's drop so that I can pretty much hit the ground running. That is it for this video though. I hope it's helped you out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.